Naja.
Så vi skal lave mad. Det bliver mega nice. Og vi skal lave mad, og vi skal lave rød.
Det bliver sgu ikke lavet.
Og det bliver, der er forår også. Der er forår er nice. Og en grøntsag, den er ret grøn, så derfor hedder det en grøntsag.
Den er lavet af forår.
Ja. Vi drikker rødvin. Den er god.
Den er lavet af forår.
Den er lavet af rødvin.
Forår.
Vi har virkelig meget Placid.
2 kilo.
Ja.
Ej, 2 kilo Placid.
Nej. Vi har sådan 5 potter med Placid.
Bare sådan lige hvor meget Placid 2 kilo er der.
Det her det er det, vi har. Det er ikke 2 kilo.
2 kilo.
Det er måske sådan 100 gram Placid.
100.
Ja, et sted mellem 100 og 200, kan jeg sige.
Hvad siger lyden af det?
Hvad siger lyden af det?
Jeg så lige lyst. Okay, ikke så højt.
Okay.
Ud.
Er det her med?
Meget.
Så er det bare lidt stille og roligt.
Ja, det er mere sådan, at det skal ikke være... Skal ikke være alt for sjældent med det. Jeg prøver lige at finde noget af det.
Kan man høre, og så snakker, mens vi hakker?
Og så må vi hakke.
Så nu hakker jeg, og snakker vi sammen. Det kan jeg sige. Hvad kan sige? Det ved jeg ikke, om det er her.
Der er sådan en automatisk noise cancelling på det faktisk fjerner noget.
Nå, du er syg.
Nej, fjerner noget af din stemme og gør det. Jeg prøver lige at finde ud af, hvad jeg gør. Så det gør, man ikke kan høre.
Nå, kan man ikke høre det?
Man kan næsten ikke høre
det. Nej, det. Nu skal jeg bare tage det hele. Det bedste.
Jeg tænker,
ja, det kan vi gøre.
Det skal også være. Nej, det var også. Og det er sjovt at høre på, eller er det
ja, vi kan i hvert fald have sådan et designated nøjskærm bare til at starte med.
Jeg kan ikke ja,
det andet kan bare til det tredje skærm. Ja.
Jeg putter det lige en blød i køleskabet, så den er klar på. Kom, kontakt. Wow. Der er ikke noget, som det gør sådan. Lige på det.
Jeg snakker om ting, og jeg snakker og hakker ikke mere.
Jeg hakker og snakker, der er strålen her, det kan man ikke se.
Jeg har sat et ekstra skærtebart op over det.
Og jeg går lidt herover og snakker, fordi nogle gange står jeg også her og snakker. Nogle gange står jeg ved computer og snakker. I det her toneleje. Det kan jo være muligvis et problem, det ved jeg ikke, hvad nogen siger.
Så det er bare skal vente ud af. Og det her skærtebart skal lidt sådan her. Og det jeg tror ikke, det er noget, der går ind.
Nej.
Det er info. Var der ikke et rødvinsglas til dig?
Ja, det så top står der.
Nå, der er økonomisk glasglas. Er det også der?
Nå, det der. Det er jeg.
Nå, selvfølgelig. Så er det vores aktiviteter. Ja. Det er, at der ligger virkelig mange røgtræller på bordet og virkelig over lige at snakke.
Nå ja, Emil og Arne, det kan være, at I laver sådan et samspil, hvor at Emil peger hen mod computeren, når kameraet er der. Så snakker jeg der, og så er det der.
Ja.
Det er okay. Vi prøver at pakke. Så.
Okay, ja, og gør jeg snakker, og jeg pakker lidt mere. Snakker.
Så i stedet for at der er mange, prøv at modellere.
Det er det, jeg prøver.
Prøv at komme til at hakke. Ja, prøv at hakke mig.
Jeg kan hakke dig. Det er det godt med. Jeg hakker dig. Jeg har været til det. Der kan være en video med det. Og så hakker man riller. Udlagt meget. Der er sådan nogle mellemrum, du føler passer til de løgstykker, du gerne vil have, og så har du altid formet sådan en rigtig fine struk her, så har du hakket. Så det er sådan, at hakker og så tager vi i enden og hakker det.
Okay, så det lyder super godt, så det ikke er rigtig vand. Så må vi bare sådan, vi kan jo fylde nogle af bådene op med vand. Og ikke noget så det står for at hælde det op.
Nej, vi skal bruge ret meget vand til kartoflerne. Hvad skal det ellers bruge vand til? Jeg vil bruge noget kogt vand til. Så har vi vatfylling og det er vegetar. Ellers skal jeg bare lave noget. Jeg synes bare, der kan kogt. Så vi kan fylde en krydder op med noget vand til topperne, og så kan vi bare fylde det op.
Hvad skal vi bruge?
It's the time of the year to get together. Sadly this time around virtually. Let's make the most of it, we always do. Hooray! For ICPS 2021. For exciting days are ahead of us. We've been waiting for this so long. Let's connect again, our physics friends. Cause it's ICPS 2021. Let's take our time to gather all the knowledge. Brilliant speakers, we share it just with you. Collaborations, friendships, and so much more. Hooray! For ICPS 2021. For exciting days are ahead of us. We've been waiting for this for 2 years. Let's connect again, our physics friends. Cause it's ICPS 2021. Let's get to it, it's gonna be fun. ICPS. Hooray!
Hello and welcome to the TV kitchen of ICPS. Tonight we will be making some Danish dishes for you. We will be making like a starter, a classical Danish starter called tartlets in English, I suppose. Then we will make two main courses, one of which is in both a meat version and a vegetarian version, and then we'll be making a dessert. And the main courses are fried pork belly with potatoes and beef patty also with potatoes, and each dish will have their own sauce. And the vegetarian main course will be
vegetarian patties made with beans instead of meat. Yes.
Yes, excellent. And the dessert will be a red porridge with cream. So I hope you'll be looking forward to it. We both do. I know that some of you have bought the ingredients yourself for to be able to cook the dishes yourself. We will be we'll be cooking like in a slow, steady pace, so you will hopefully be able to follow us during this this event. And also, if whether or not that you're cooking yourself, feel free to follow. And also, do not hesitate to comment in the comment sections. Then we will be taking up questions both regarding the with the food and whatever, anything we do basically. And also, we're also thinking like if you have any dilemmas or anything that you want to like discuss or whatever, then we'll gladly bring it up and discuss it here. So don't hesitate to use the comment section. So, Ende, where do we start?
So we start with the first main course, which is the patties. So I will be making the vegetarian patties. I will start on that.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yes. Walk through.
Yeah. So we have some kidney beans here. We will be needing an onion as well, a red bell pepper, and some spices. Let's see. We have paprika, Worcestershire sauce, and we will be needing some bouillon powder broth as well, and breadcrumb flours and some flour. Yes. So let's start by chopping the onion. And if you don't know how to chop an onion, I will sure explain it. So just chopped off both ends, cut it in half. Then you remove the outer layers because they are not very nice to eat.
While you do that, I will be starting with the rest of the beef patty main course, because what we will need for that is some caramelized onions. For that, we'll also need a lot of onions, and we'll need a lot of powder, and that will take a little bit of time. So that is what I'll start doing. We have the butter. And whenever Andrea has chopped the onion, I will be making some onion rings, or like onion crescents because it doesn't have to be onion rings. It just has to be like some coherent section of the onion, which we will then fry in some butter for a long time to caramelize, and that will be like the like an additional spice to the dish. Well, a general thing for Danish food is that we are a very Nordic country, and that means that there are not really any native, or there are not so many spices that are native to Denmark, at least not in traditional cooking. So a lot of traditional Danish food is made mainly only using salt and pepper. And what we have as small herbs like parsley. We'll use parsley a lot tonight because that's a classical Danish herb. And then, like the two main spices in Danish food is salt and pepper. And if you're from a country where you have a lot of spices and you're like more accustomed to spicy food, feel free to add some if you're cooking with us tonight. It may put your own twist on the food, but if you want like the traditional Danish experience, then it's like very spicy fried. But we still hope you like it. So, where are you now?
So right now I've chopped up my onion. And now I'm getting ready to chop my bell pepper. Yes, and the vegetarian patties are not particularly Danish. Danish food is not very vegetarian at all.
Oh, it was not really. It was not really an option to be a vegetarian back in the days.
No, yeah. So these patties are not traditionally Danish at all. Which is why we will be using some special spices for them that we will not be using in any other dish tonight. But the vegetarians should have options as well. So
of course. And well, Danish traditional Danish food culture is very much based on agriculture, because that was what Denmark was able to fry. I think this onion is fast. So most things for most of history were actually peasants. So what they thrived on was mainly corn and different meat products like pork and
chickens.
Yeah. Indeed. And then when the potato was introduced to Europe, it gained a lot of traction then. So potatoes are a very standard element of Danish food culture. I'll just prepare onions to make caramelized onions. I think it'll be like 4 or 5. We have arranged the recipes to be made for approximately 2 persons. We'll be making like a greater amount of food because we're also making food for our production team. Oh, and I think we may have a comment in the comment section.
Yes, we have confirmed someone is cooking along with it.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome!
What are they cooking?
Rebecca is going to try to cook a main dish and a starter.
Excellent.
Yeah, nice.
Wait, we will also soon be starting on the tartlets. That's the starter. We just have to like get a little bit of the main course prepared because that will take a little bit longer time.
Okay.
It will be Andrea who's like head of the starters. So whenever she's ready, whenever she has made the bean patties, then she will, I suppose, command me to have something for the tartlets. Do we have, now I'm just asking out there on the stream, were any of you there for the chess tournament yesterday? Where Andrea and I, accompanied by Jakob Johnson, tried to say something like vaguely intelligent about chess. at least if that's the case, leave a comment in the comments. We'll pick up on that. So right now, I'm messing the whole table with onion peel. Perfectly fine. The thing is with caramelized onions is that you it contracts quite a lot when you fry it because a lot of the water will evaporate, so you need way more onion than you think you do. I think I'll need 5 or 6. Just like me. I apologize for the slightly boring beginning of this TV show. It will just be me chopping onions, but hopefully it will get a little bit more exciting when we actually get to cook some of the main.
Hopefully, yes. Yes, and with the vegetarian patties, I have rinsed my beans, and now I'm going to just blend them slightly, mash them slightly. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to make a lot of noise, so sorry about that.
Oh yeah, you'll be using the blender? Yes.
And it doesn't have to be, yeah. You don't have to mash all of them completely. Still want some texture in there. So I think this is good now. A spoon. So yes, they should look like this now. I think you can see it on camera. And then we will mix in the chopped onion and bell pepper.
Yes, excellent. Okay, and now I think I have a noble amount of onions to be caramelized.
And you do need quite a lot of onions for this because they will reduce in size when you fry them. So
Exactly. So what I usually do is just like cut them into halves, and then whenever I have the space on my cutting board, I will just simply make some little creases in this size.
here,
And well, I have a like kind of distinct way of cutting onions because I was never taught how to do it properly. So I usually have like an onion and then I just chop it until sort of into the middle, and then I turn it around and chop onto the middle. That's not, and please don't put me in the comment section. It's not the most ideal way to chop onions. I do know that. I think one of my friends who's like a chef, or a chef apprentice, he says that you should actually like leave the bottom of the onion to like keep it together, and then you should chop it down to the bottom. And I think we have a notice in the comment section. Is that regarding the onion or something completely different?
One good news, Ollie is going to try to do 3 dishes.
Oh,
wow,
And he's also drinking Danish beer at the same time.
nice.
oh, awesome! Cheers,
So,
brother.
cheers.
We're drinking, that's not even so bad. We're drinking Chilean wine. And we can use some wine for the soup later on. It's not just a gimmick or intent to get drunk. It's not needed. Yeah. Nice to hear from you, both Rebecca and Ollie. Looking forward to seeing how it goes. And if you have any questions regarding the food while you're making it, don't hesitate to
It's right now adding the spices to the patties. So we're going to need some paprika. For this version, we're going to need what's that? and just a few drops of the Worcestershire sauce. It's open.
So, Ollie and Rebecca and the rest of you who are watching, where are you guys from? Because it's actually be quite interesting to know what you think of Danish food if you're like from far away. Because Danish food culture is of course like somewhat similar to the countries that are near us. Danish and German food culture is not so far apart. Neither is Danish and Swedish. Of course, there are some differences, but that's take for a long time. We have a comment.
Yes. Ollie says he's looking forward to hearing the pronunciation for the dish. Typically,
Oh, of course. Yeah, the pronunciation, well, the Danish language is not so user-friendly for people trying to read what's going on. The main courses are in Danish called, well, the first one was, the starter was tarteletter, and then the fried pork belly is called steak split with persille sauce, or steak split with persille sauce. And the other one, the beef patties, are called hakkebøf med blødløg og kartofler and brun sauce. So I think, and also the dessert is actually like sort of a meme in Denmark because that's pronounced brød med fløde. Try to do that at home. I'm not sure you will succeed. Any comment?
Someone asks what the blueberries are for.
That is for the dessert. It's not blueberries, it's black currant. These little black berries here. So they're actually not actually blueberries. They have this very dark red color inside. And these we will be using for the dessert. Well, along with the other berries.
Exactly, and that's because brød med fløde means what do I call it? Red porridge?
Red pudding.
Red pudding, yeah.
Yeah, with cream.
Yeah. I think that red pudding is like in my opinion, like a bit strange translation, but it's like the red refers to the red berries. It's just like a mix of berries which you then boil and then you add some cream. It's like a very simple dessert.
Mm-hmm.
That's because we have a lot of berries, so that's what.
Yeah.
The closest you got to candy in back in the days.
Also, this dessert got quite popular during the late 1800s, where all the countries in Europe were very nationalistic. And the dessert is red and white, which is also the colors of the Danish flag.
Oh,
so it's the national
it
dessert of Denmark.
It has a national appeal.
Yeah.
And yeah, the name of it is like, as I mentioned, sort of a meme because it's like you have to be a native speaker to be able to. But do give it a go. The comments?
Yeah, someone said they only have blueberries in there.
Well, blueberries is fine. You can use whatever berries you like. We just have a mix because that's what I like to use. But you can use whatever berries you like. You can use rhubarb as well if you like rhubarb.
I think the most common ingredient in rødgrød med fløde is strawberries.
Yes.
Because that's like that's a common thing, common theme. And then we have some raspberries and blackcurrant. And what are these called actually in English?
I think it's currant. They're just called currant, and then these are blackcurrant.
Oh.
I think is what it said when I looked it up. But please correct me if I'm wrong.
But there's also, right, regarding the rødgrød med fløde, there are no like specific rules to match or something. Use the berries you like. Now I think we have some pan which is heating up. We'll use quite a decent amount of butter, and this is a decent amount of butter. And then simply add the onions. And right now the pan is like it's not like light and frost effect hot, but it's pretty hot. But they have to be like medium to low heat for some time. Okay. Of course, they just have to get a little bit of heat to caramelize. Okay, so Andrea, I'm thinking let's start the making of the tartlets.
Yes, I will just finish up this while you maybe chop up the mushrooms. Then.
I'll chop some mushrooms.
I'm not quite finished with this yet, but we're getting there.
Perfect.
Definitely need some more water. But yeah, the main part of the tartlet filling is the mushrooms. Yeah, so we will need to chop them up first. Yes, so you can do that while I put some more water over this. And right now you can see, okay, this spoon is not maybe a good spoon at all.
Yep. It's too I have a new one for you.
Thank you. Oh yes, this is a good thing.
So, also, a general advice when you are cooking in a kitchen, make sure to separate raw meat from the rest of your vegetables and whatever you do. Like basically all of this is going to be cooked, to be boiled, so it's not so urgent that they don't mix. But in general, if you're making a salad together with raw meat, that may be very contagious.
We are actually making a salad with our food. The Danish food is a lot of meat and a lot of cream and potatoes.
It is heavy.
So we would like to have something a little more fresh with our food. So we're making just a small salad to go along with it. And you can do that as well if you want to. Because yeah, it is a lot of meat and a lot of potatoes, so it gets really heavy. Some of them will be let's see.
So let's chop some
Yes.
and have some wine. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. And cheers to you at home.
Cheers. Again, cheers to take the lead. We need it. It's gonna be a long night. I'm having fun.
Well, that's something. This still needs some more water. This is still a bit too crumbly in the texture, so I just keep adding water until I get the texture I like, and it needs to be a little bit more thick.
I think that's like I think that's something you have to like know for having the experience making this dish, right? So
Yes, definitely, and yeah, it needs to be a little bit more smooth so that you're able to shape it into the patties, and so that they don't just crumble apart when you try to fry them. But it doesn't can't be too smooth either, because then they will also just fall apart. So it's about hitting that balance. I think it's starting to be pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more water, and let's say that's going to be it. And so, let's see.
So right now we're jumping a little bit back and forth between the different dishes. That's like mainly due to the different cooking times. They have to like sort of align in the end. And for the haggard, the beef patties, the patties itself don't need so much time on the pan. But the for instance the caramelized onions and the tartar fillings and stuff like that need some more time. So we'll try to align that. And it looks like we have a column also.
Yeah. You want them down with the spoon?
Oh, Scott, you want some?
Oh,
You do as well.
and also you want some?
I can't really right now with my fingers in the
I'll bring one for you.
Thank you, Albert. So this portion is for 4 people, so I will be making 8 patties out of this. Yes. So right, I'm just shaping it with my hands because that's the preference, and of course I have some before the show. Always wash your hands before you cook.
Yes, especially during these times
Especially during
when even ICPS has to be online, unfortunately. Are there counts?
Well, I just wondering if people know what's going to be.
Oh, it's simply a toast. It just means cheers. It actually it doubles as a word for bow. You know, like
a bowl.
a bow. Am I pronouncing that right?
I have one here.
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah.
So that means good. And also that's just the toast you make whenever you're having some wine. And speaking of, maybe some more. Should I close up for you?
Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, you know, she's not like that. Oh, there we go. And it's strictly for professional use as well. We will need it later for the sauce.
Yes. We're just making sure that none of it goes to waste.
Yes, of course. that would be true.
Come. In reply to school, someone says word of the day.
What?
In reply to school, someone says word of the day.
Oh yes, of course. It is a good word. I think it's like slightly related to the word skull in English, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's true. I'm sure.
Skull. So. Maybe that's just me being bad at English. So, but actually, I know the word for cheers or skål in German is called Prost, and that's derived from Latin, the Latin Prosit, which means to help. And we actually use the word Prosit when somebody sneezes. Instead of saying bless you, then we say like to your help.
Yes.
So that was the word fact of the day. So, right now, like halfway through cutting mushrooms. And it would have been easier, like, if we went to people, two people.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of time. So actually, the dishes we're cooking are, I'm talking about the main courses. And the main courses we're talking about were both about to be selected as the Danish national dish. And steak flesh, the fried pork belly, was actually selected as the Danish national dish in 2014, I think.
Yes, it was 2014.
And I think Hageberg, it was like made by a popular vote, I suppose. And Hageberg, you know, the beef patties, it was actually on a 3rd place. And on the 2nd place, we have like this smørbrød.
Yes, your chopping board is a little bit out of frame.
Chopping board will return. There you go.
Perfect.
Now it should look even more like a neat little tasty video. You guys, have you seen the tasty videos? It was like one of my favorite. How do you say overspringshandling? Take a routine.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Procrastination. I procrastinated a lot watching tasty videos because I really like cooking. I really like watching people cook.
Yes, there's something really relaxing about it.
And it's like sort of a low-key art form which I can do. That sounded very potential.
Because I'm just putting salt and pepper on these patties here. And then they're actually going to go on the pan.
So, Andre, where do you want the mushrooms for the salad? Should I just start frying them in a little pan?
Yes, I think you should do that. Maybe you should chop the onion and garlic first, so that it's ready.
Oh, we need more onion.
Yes, we need more onion. So, yeah, take the 2 big onions.
Yes, I'll chop the onions.
3 cloves of garlic, something like that. And chop it up.
Okay.
And then you can start frying the mushrooms.
Anyway, now the onions, the pan here, I just started to caramelize. And that just means we lower the heat a little bit. Because this is exactly what we just want more of it. Just needs a bit more time. And actually, when we have finished cooking these onions, we will use the taste from the onions to gain a little taste on the beef patty, because the main ingredient is that in that is just the chopped meat. It doesn't taste like very much in, so we will add as much spice as we can from what we do.
Yeah, on Discord, someone asks, what's up with the leeks?
That's a very good question.
Yes.
That is what is the deal of the leeks? But yeah, I'll keep it. Should we keep that as a surprise?
Yeah. Let's do that.
We may use those for later. Maybe not. Good. So for the tartar fillings, I just chopped a lot of mushrooms, but as Andrea correctly pointed out, we will need to chop some onions and fry them for just a moment before we add the mushrooms.
Now you fry the mushrooms first, because they can take quite a lot of heat, and it's nice to cook mushrooms at very high heat first, and then you just add the onions and the garlic after that.
Okay, sure.
Is what I usually do when I fry mushrooms for something, and
sure, then we will do it. But I think usually I fry the onions for a little bit because the mushrooms contain a lot of water, and that makes it a little bit hard to fry something when you have.
Yeah, but if you fry off all of the water first, and then you add the onion, it usually works. If you don't like that, you can put the mushrooms on a plate after you fried them, and then.
Oh, and drain the water.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Exactly. And then fry the onion.
Okay. Anyway, I like it. Let's do that.
Yes.
I think that's maybe just my impatience showing, like when I cook onions and mushrooms together.
Yes.
So,
Perhaps.
anyway.
Yes. And I'm frying the bean patties over here. I'm just frying them at medium heats in some oil, in some cooking oil. Yeah, and it takes 3 to 4 minutes on each side, and that's actually it.
Can you maybe give the onions in the pan a stir?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Starting to look really good over here.
Yeah. I hope so.
Smell really good.
Usually, when I'm home and my roommate is like, when I'm cooking something, it's just like, oh, that smells amazing. I'm just deep frying onions. So.
Yeah, in butter. Actually, I'll just be adding a bit of butter to the bean patties because it adds some nice flavor when you fry butter in butter. You'll be doing that.
And it's not like, well, yeah, if there's anybody vegan out there watching this stream, sorry.
So just as a heads up, we are having 30 people watching in front.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Really nice to have you, to cook for you, and it's so nice that you're watching this and cooking with us, some of you at least.
And also, don't if you have any questions or anything you want to say, any statements, maybe some physics related questions. I'm not sure. It's like sort of like extended thermodynamics, I suppose. Then
Apply.
apply very, very applied. Then don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section. And I'm thinking to use this part for the top of them.
Yes. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, sure.
See if I may go. So that's why I have not an expert in shopping onions. This and it's on all of those. We would also need a little bit of butter. I think that actually, if you're to analyze the main ingredients of Danish food culture, I think it's like butter and potatoes. The comment section.
Yeah, someone asked what your favorite cooking wine is.
Ooh, favorite cooking wine, like to put in the food or to drink while you're cooking?
That is actually a
Good question.
Like wine for putting in food. I don't think I have a favorite, but it doesn't really matter if it's a cheap wine or an expensive wine if you put it in the food.
I actually
So there's that.
there's like for me there's like an Italian wine called what's it called? It's called something Impassionata or something like that. And that's just like it actually tastes really good just as it is, and it's not so expensive, so I'm not so hesitant using it while cooking. So I think that's my personal favorite. And this one also.
This one's quite nice. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot from Chile. Yeah, it's quite good. Can recommend.
It smells good already.
Right now the beef patties are frying on the pan, looking very good, and we will just heat them in the oven before eating them. We have another question from the comment section.
Yeah, a comment from earlier. Johan is excited about the camera angle.
Yes.
We may actually, if technical team is ready for that, we may actually have be able to do some close-up because we have a camera that we are not utilizing right now, so that may follow us. Closely.
Maybe we could, right now you're just chopping onions and I'm waiting for the beef patties to fry. We could maybe show them around in our students' common room.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
And I think technical team heard that, so.
Yes, that is nice, because right now we are in the physics common room. And this is how it looks. There's Emil and Sophus doing the comment section. Arnold is our cleaning helper. This is the kitchen, as you can see on all the other cameras. Yes, zoom over here. So in here is also the base of the Students' Council for Physics Students at the University of Copenhagen. We have our own little flag here. Here. So that's one thing happening in this room. And if you turn around the camera to the flag over there, that's our physics sketch show that we do once a year with songs and sketches that we write ourselves. And it's quite fun. It's the event of the year here at the physics studies at the University of Copenhagen. Yes, but other than that, this room is mostly just used by the students. They eat their lunch here, cook food together.
Getting some much needed coffee at times.
Yes. We have another comment.
Yeah, what is on the flag?
I actually completely forgotten the name of that experiment.
It's the
Like, yes. So, yeah. So that is the name of the experiment.
It's the one where you, I think you're excited some.
Yeah, so you have some particle is in quantum state going through some sort of magnetic field thing, and then it splits up. Yeah.
I think it was a special ion of silver or something that they used to like mimic electrons themselves, and then the atoms in that situation were able to like pose in either a spin up or spin down, and we were able to measure that using that magnetic field. And of course, it has to be like our flag because it's one of the prime indicators of quantum mechanics. So right now, some of the last elements for the tablet strings. How many tablets are we going to have? Because there's like a lot of filling here.
Yes. Is going to be quite a lot of filling, but the mushrooms are the main ingredient. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of them. We have another question or comment?
Yeah, someone cooking along with what you put in the vegetarian patty.
What I put in the vegetarian patties, so it's kidney beans, it's red bell pepper, 1 onion, some Worcestershire sauce, also called English sauce, some places, paprika, some bouillon powder mixed with water. Yeah, and that's kind of it. Salt and pepper, of course. Yeah,
Of course.
and some flour and some breadcrumbs. Yes, to keep them from not falling completely apart.
Good. Oh yeah, I turned it up to Maxi to get it.
Yeah, I think I will just turn down a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Good.
And these caramelized onions are looking really good over here.
We got a close-up of the stove because then we can see how the onions should be progressing by now.
They're looking really good. It's smelling really nice and caramelized. Oh, this is really
What
good.
we need for the onions is actually a decent amount of salt because they will just taste like a little bit of a little bit of caramel, a little bit sweet compared to how onions usually taste. So we'll need a decent amount of salt to like make it a real good dish, something that you want to like, something that you want to consume. Okay, so you'll be cooking more.
Yes,
vegetarian
there's
patties?
just one more batch, and then that's it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then we will keep them. They actually done like a great deal ahead of schedule, but we will keep them warm in the oven until we're done with them.
Keep them in the oven just before serving them.
You know what I'm thinking of doing, Andrea? I'm thinking of doing the potatoes. While the
That sounds like a really good idea.
it's,
To get them up and cooking.
whenever the onions are for the tartlets are done, say so. Then I will come running with all the mushrooms.
Yes, I will do that. Have you prepared the garlic for
Oh,
parallel filling as well?
I completely forgot.
We only need like 2 cloves of garlic. Garlic is not very common in Danish cuisine, but sometimes we use it.
I think
A little bit of extra flavor because, yeah, Danish food is very much just salt and pepper and that's it.
I think actually garlic was added to some dishes. For instance, cream potato, you know.
Yeah,
Which is also a Danish dish. It was, I think garlic has been added to like Danish cuisine within like the last 100 years. From there.
that sounds about right. And there's still some debate going on about should you put garlic in these traditional Danish dishes. Some people do and some people don't, and Some people are very opinionated about it.
Personally, I'm like in it for the taste, so whatever makes it taste better, that's what we're gonna use.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was.
It's not so usual that I cook like these traditional dishes.
No, me neither. Me neither. I could maybe show the some finished vegetarian patties. This is what they look like when they're fried. Yeah.
Are there anyone on the stream who are cooking the vegetarian meatballs? In that case, do say so.
Yes, we would love to know what you are cooking out there if you're cooking with us.
Yes. And how your progress is, because I mean we're trying to do this in like sort of slow pace, but of course like stuff have to get going right now. And also, general very common theme in Danish food culture is of course potatoes. Usually just boiled potatoes, but then they come in all different shapes and sizes. Should I add the garlic to the?
Yes. We will please do that. Thank you.
And we will have like some of the most traditional potatoes, which is just like boiled potatoes. They will be boiled for like 40 minutes, I think. It depends on the size of the potatoes. If you have like small potatoes, it will take a lot shorter time. If you have like huge potatoes, it will take longer time. So I hope that you will be able to manage that wherever you are. Okay, so. And now I know I promised not to do this very much, but we have actually cheated a little bit, because that's what TV chefs do. We have prepared the potatoes, also because like the running water should like sort of mess with the sound of the stream, so we have to do that in advance. Hope we have a comment.
Yeah, someone said they're doing the vegetarian patties but with lentils.
Oh, interesting.
That
Nice.
sounds actually a bad deal. How's it going? You were doing the vegetarian dish with lentils. Leave it in the comment. And yeah, of course, the potatoes have to be. We are keeping the peel off because that's both healthy and quite easy to do. But of course, this is like an unwashed potato. It just came in as it is. All those little dots and stuff like that has to be removed. And then of course it has like, if there's like any rest of dirt or whatever, it has to be cleaned from the potatoes. And then we're simply just going to boil them in some water with a lot of salt, because salt, main spice of Denmark. So can't.
Yeah, the person Alejandro doing lentil patties at the day.
Nice.
Awesome, good to hear.
Great, Alexandra.
So, we usually a lot of boiling water, and we will. I think we should use the like the electric boiler, because actually when I was in high school, we did an experiment looking at how much electricity was utilized when boiling water, and the one with the least electricity use, or the least power use, were the electric kettles. So that's what we're gonna use. Fun fact, by the way. Oh, that looks a little bit
It's looking good.
okay.
It's looking really good.
Oh, it's over here. It had a little bit too much.
But it's fine. It all adds taste to the dish. So long as it's not burnt, then I think we're good. Maybe a little.
I think this one will just have like a little break.
That sounds like a good idea. Maybe take the onions and put them on the plate or in the bowl.
Yes, I'll do. I'll just put this.
And then we can get to cook the mushrooms for the tartlet filling.
Yes, excellent. I'll just get another.
Yes.
Oh, it's a big one. Okay, then we'll make a little switcheroo using this one for the potatoes and this one for the top.
Yes. Maybe just cook the mushrooms first and then add the.
Onion.
You don't have to. Yeah, the onions are cooked now.
Yeah, but I can just
So-
add them and then add
No,
them.
just fry the mushrooms by themselves.
Okay.
I think that will make it a little bit easier.
Sure. You are the target boss. I am a bit sure whether we will need another pot eventually. We will find out.
Yeah.
We will need one
It will
for
be-
one of the sauce.
Maybe we'll just have our cleaning team clean some hot spots.
That's it. Yeah, alternatives.
Exactly.
I think actually the caramelized onions are like going towards being done. Actually,
Yeah.
how are the
Pretty good.
how are the last patties doing?
They're done in a minute.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Because
So,
then I am thinking, when you're done with the patties, I will fry the steak flesh, the pork belly, on the pan that you used. Maybe just after a quick clean, but then
Good idea.
yes.
Sounds like a plan. Yes, and then I will just keep an eye on the top of the filling while you fry the pork belly.
Maybe actually. No, maybe we'll have to then get to. Anyway, the potatoes are going to be boiled. They're going to be boiled in over here with a lot of salt, and then I think we'll add some parsley here.
Can we maybe get the technician to open a window in the back? It's really generating quite a lot of smoke stuff while frying, and it's getting quite hot here actually.
It's getting hot here.
Guys, we don't have a shot of the potatoes. Maybe we can show them.
Yes.
Shut up the potatoes.
Also, our tech team is coming here to show you the potatoes.
There's no
not-
potatoes.
there's
The
salt.
potatoes are here too.
There's salt in the pot.
Oh,
But that's also okay. That's like a more minimalistic thing. Is just salt in a pot. Okay, so now we have some boiling water, and we will add that to our minimalistic dish, salt in a pot, and then we will add the potato. I think actually let's add the potatoes first, because otherwise it will splash all the way. Go. Hope it's enough for like 6 people.
Yeah. We're eating all of the dishes. We're cooking all of the dishes and eating all of the dishes. So I hope it's enough potatoes. I think it's enough potatoes. We will definitely have enough here.
Indeed.
But yes, now the vegetarian patties are done.
I'll just use the water. Think you're not jamming the sound?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
This one.
Are you on the lookout for the target fitting?
Yes.
Excellent. Then I think might actually soon be done.
Can we maybe have our cleaning staff clean this pan for us? It needs cleaning. Because we are going to
Ladies,
use it
to the
in a
rescue.
minute.
Excellent. So, if you're able to hear what I say, while our pan is being heated, the next thing we're going to do is looking at the pork belly. And that is actually, it's a piece of meat. I'll just bring it here. leave it here because we have like our meat section over here. But it's like a piece of meat, which is what is good. Oh, perfect. Thank you. It is what's actually the same as bacon, but this is like bacon which is not salted or smoked in any way. So this is this is the raw standard thing, which we will then fry and then cook together with the potatoes and the pasta sauce. So this is what we will be making now, because it needs more time on the pan than you would expect. Actually, I think like half an hour or something, depending on the cuts, and these are quite thick. So yeah, so I think like at least half an hour before these are done. Okay, so are we graining? Do you need anything?
Graining a little bit of liquid mushrooms.
Quite
a lot of liquid with these mushrooms.
You use the seed and just experiment?
Yeah, it's fine. It's good.
Excellent. Is the pan is doing great. Excellent. Then I will just did we lose the rest of the section? Yeah. Oh. Hey. Okay. So what I will be doing is simply just add this unsalted, unsmoked bacon to the pan, and it should, as you know, bacon usually contains a lot of fat. It's actually able to fry in its own fat. So that's what we're just gonna leave it doing. Oh, I think we have tech cam on right now. Perfect. And this is just like, it's a no-brainer. You just add the bacon to the pan, fry it, and expect it to nurture itself.
When you go out to buy these pork bellies, it's nice to have some very fat slices to make sure that they are crispy on the outside and sort of soft on the inside. Yeah.
And notice a thing that I've heard is like sort of foreign to. Oh, a comment?
Yeah, someone asks how thick they should slice their pork belly.
I would say at least a centimeter. More likely 2 centimeters, going towards 2. Half an inch.
These are good slices.
Yes,
I would say.
Because if you slice it too thin, then you will the meat will likely get dry, because it has to fry like for half an hour. So while you fry it for half an hour, then if they are too thin, you might evaporate all the water in the meat. So at least like half an inch, or close to 2 centimeters. That's the usual stuff. Oh yeah, and something I want to say is something I've heard is a quite dangerous thing is that on pork belly the skin is often kept on the meat, because that's apparently a thing that's used in the, not so much here, but we have a general Christmas dish in which that when pork belly is fried, like the skin gets totally crisp, and then that's like a national delicacy. I don't know, I suppose, for Placid. So now we're running out of space, but let's hope it will work out in the end. And again, it should not need any oil or any butter or something to fry. You could add some if you like. We'll see about that. But that just has to fry.
So now we're going to move on to the next step of the tartlet filling. So the onions are fried now. Just take them over here and show you. It's fried, or the mushrooms are happening right. This is fried mushrooms. And now we're going to move on to the next part, where we're going to make a roux, I think it's pronounced, where you take butter and flour and mix it well together, and then you add milk or some other liquid like broth, which we're going to do here. And then you let it boil, and then the flour, make sure that
Consistency.
The consistency is it's going to get a lot more creamy and thick. It's going to be really nice when we're putting this into small pies.
Can we have a quick look at the stove? Because right now the caramelized onions are actually perfect, I say. I'll just take a quick taste. They need a little bit more salt, but then we are actually completely finished with the first element of our main course, the article of the beef patties. Excellent. And that also means that we're able to continue making the beef patties. But we'll keep that for a little bit because the beef patties has to fry for a lot shorter time.
Maybe get this stuff up.
I will just I'll remove this for a bit because we actually don't need this pan right now. So we'll just keep it on a plate, and I may, when we get close to serving, just reheat it a little bit in the oven. But also like this garniture works just as well heated as it does like in a more cold setting.
Okay, I will keep starting on the last part of the part that's going now. So I don't know if we can get the camera on the stove top. And I will be showing how to do that. So we have our pot, and then we take equal parts of butter and flour. So this amount of butter is a good amount of butter, maybe a little bit more for us, people. Okay, so first we melt the flour, and then put it on. It's on low heat. You just have to melt it. You don't have to do anything more than that. So right now we're just melting the butter. And when it's melted, we add the flour. And then we add some broth. So I will actually be making right now.
So technically, how is the sound doing with the frying of the pork belly?
The sound is doing fine. Okay, if you speak loud, then we can hear you.
Excellent. Of course. So, actually, when we are going to make, I will just so this one. What we will be making when we will be making the beef patties is simply just to have like ground beef, and then we'll just like add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper to that, and shape it into some beef patty, basically like the content of a hamburger. Basically, if you make like a good hamburger patty, then you have made like a good targeted or beef patty. So, so this is what we will be doing in the and there's actually a lot of regional variations of this dish because the Danish way of doing this is very very deprived from spices and stuff like that. Only salt and pepper. But there's like a Swedish version of this dish called Dreamsphere, which is where you add, I think, both beets and some egg and some what's taken between capers. Capers. Okay. Oh, that was it. And add that to have like a really like a really rich array of tastes in the beef. But that's like a Swedish dish, so whenever Sweden hosts ICPS, I suppose they should do that.
I've added the flour to the part that's filling now. And I think you can see it on the camera over here. This is how it should look. Yeah, and now I'm just waiting for my water to boil. Ideally, you would be mixing the broth before pouring it in, but we don't have like measuring cup that large, so I'll just be pouring in the water and then adding this bouillon powder afterwards. Yeah. And I'm using a whisk because when you're making like a roux, you really have to make sure that there are no clumps, because as soon as you add the liquid, and if you don't mix well enough, then you will have clumps of flour in your sauce, and that's not really nice to eat. So make sure to use a whisk and really mix it well. And that's also the reason that we're going to add the water just a little at a time, so that we're making sure that we don't get any clumps in our sauce or our filling.
I'm just adding a little more salt to the potatoes. There's one thing that's boring, that's potato without salt. And then we have a look. I think unfortunately this pan is a little bit small for this array of pork. Oh, I'm sorry for
Oh, it's fine.
an Indian dish. And so they may eat a little bit unevenly. I'll try to fix that so I can promise anything. Meanwhile, Andrea is doing the making the sauce.
Yes, so now I've almost added all of the water. And when I've added all of the water, we're just going to let it boil for a few minutes, because the flour paste is not a nice paste to have in your sauce. So when you boil it, you activate the flour, and then it loses that weird taste.
Yeah, then it tastes like more coherent.
Exactly.
Like coherent space. And now, unfortunately, this pan heats a little bit unevenly, so some of the pork belly has already gotten a lot of heat, and some of it is still like, well, not raw, but close to being raw on the flip side. But it will even out in the end. I think meanwhile, while we wait for that, I think I would just wash some of the berries which we're going to use in the recipe. And make those ready. Oh, and will you turn down a little bit for the press?
Yes, I will. There we go. And the most traditional filling for these tartlets include chicken. We're doing a vegetarian version here with only mushrooms, but that is also quite common. But yeah, making it with chicken would require boiling a chicken for 3 to 4 hours to make the meats very tender. And then doing exactly this, making a roux, adding then the broth that you cook your chicken in, the water from boiling the chicken, and then doing exactly the same as we're doing here. Yeah, but it would take a lot of time. We would like to be inclusive of the vegetarians out there. And I'm a vegetarian too, so I like exploring vegetarian alternatives to different dishes that I've been used to eating with meat.
Actually, we did test the chicken version, but it would have required to have all of you, if you were trying to make this starter, to begin a couple of hours in advance boiling some some chicken meat to get this broth, and that was just even inconvenient. So I hope you are aligned with this object. Okay.
And when you cook this tartlet filling, you really have to pay attention and heat it up slowly, because there's a risk that it will burn, and we don't want that because it will taste very bad. So really stir it frequently, heat it up slowly. Yes, it is a very good idea.
So right now I'm just adding some of the red berries, which I'm going to wash. That generates a little bit of trash over here. I'll just wash these. I want the raspberries separately because they are a little more squishy, so I don't want to squish them far too much. Oh, and we have more black from. And also do notice that even though they are red, we won't be using tomatoes for this pudding. That will get that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, but right now we are like sort of in that phase where stuff has to boil, and that's why we prepare for the dessert right now. Which I think it can be made with frozen berries. Just like speeds up the process a little bit.
We're going to add some water when we boil the berries, so you might want to adjust the amount of water you add, and then add a little less water if you use frozen berries.
Yeah, which is definitely an option. I think quite often people use frozen berries because it makes a lot easier.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So the sauce over here is now boiling. So I'm just going to turn down the heat a little bit and let it simmer for a few minutes. And you can see before it was very liquid because I added a lot of water, and now it's starting to thicken. And I might actually add a little bit more water to it so that it doesn't get too thick, because it will get a very creamy texture. Yeah, we just don't want it to be too thick. That isn't really a nice consistency either. So it's about hitting that sweet spot.
It has to be like a sauce, but not like a.
But like a creamy sauce, not a pudding. Yeah.
And not like like some watery sauce either, like something that we make it for some sort of beef or whatever. So Andrea, have you been to any nice restaurants lately?
No, not really. Well, yes, actually, I was up by the west coast of Jutland on vacation, and so we went to this fish buffet restaurant. Yeah, it was really nice. So they had like shrimps and a lot of dishes with fish and a buffet, so you could eat all you wanted. That was actually really good to just eat like a giant pile of shrimps. Like really delicious shrimps. That was
was it
really
by the coast or by a fjord? Or?
By the coast, so just like a few hundred meters from the beach. Yeah. And it was really nice weather, so we sat outside in the sunshine, getting sand blown in our faces because the wind blows a lot when you're out by the west coast of Denmark. But yeah, it was really nice.
Oh, which city was it?
Blackhus, it's called. It's a very popular vacation city, both for Danes. I know a lot of Germans go there as well. Then they rent a summer house and go on vacation there. But yeah, it's very common in Denmark that you own or rent a summer house by the coast, and then you go there in your vacations. with your family. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think, because a general theme in Danish food culture is also like eating a lot of fish. Actually.
Yes, we are surrounded by a lot of water. We have a lot of coastline. Yeah, so we do eat a lot of fish. So the most common dishes are perhaps herring. We eat that for Christmas and Easter.
And in combination with smørbrød, the open sandwiches.
Yes. So you take your herring, it's a pickled herring, and then you put it on the rye bread and add this salad, we call it, with curry and mayonnaise on top.
Yeah, I never
And it
got
tastes
that.
really good.
Yeah, it does actually. I never really got how somebody sort of like adding curry to herring, but
Yeah, but it tastes really good. Some people think, and some people absolutely hate it, but they'll eat it for tradition. Yeah, so that's quite traditional. And then we also eat like, I don't know what the name of the fish is in English, but it's this sort of flat fish. And then we take the fillets of that and put some breadcrumbs and egg on it and fry them, and it tastes really good.
oh yeah, we
Yeah.
actually call it a shooting star on occasion.
Yes, if you put the right ingredients onto your plate, you can call the dish a shooting star. Then you have rye bread and white bread as well, shrimps, and then this fish covered in breadcrumbs, usually with some, like a slice of cucumber and a single tomato or something on the side. But yeah, and lemon and
That's also like in the repertoire of smørbrød, the open sandwiches.
yes, it definitely is.
Need to check out any of these?
Always. No, actually, we will have to use both of them because this pan is the one used for caramelizing the onions, and we'll be using that to fry the beef patties in there. And I will just look at the fried pork then.
It's looking very good over here. And the filling for the tartlets is looking really good as well. It has like this creamy texture, and it will boil down to be a bit more creamy than it is now. So I think this is starting to definitely look like something. I will maybe add a bit of salt to that. We are kind of finishing it up now.
I think, and can you turn this up a little bit once again, because it has to be like crispy on the outside.
Here. I will add the mushroom and onion that we fried earlier to the tartlet sauce.
Yeah, and I think I am approaching being done cleaning the berries for the red pudding. It still keeps being a little, these very little branches on some of the berries. I'll try to remove as many of them as possible. See how well that goes.
And now we're just going to let the tartlet filling simmer for a bit until it reduces a bit and gets a little bit more creamy texture. Yeah, so this will take care of itself now.
And just finishing up the berries, and then I think it was a very good selection of berries for the red pudding.
Figured I'd choose a bit of different berries.
And I think that I think it may be a little heavy if you primarily use strawberries, but like having these.
Yeah, these berries that have a bit more sour taste, like the currants, the black and red, they're a bit more sour in taste.
Yeah.
I think that adds a nice touch. And of course, you have to adjust the amount of sugar you put into your red pudding. If you're using very sweet berries, you don't have to put as much sugar in it. And here we're using some sour berries as well. So we will be putting maybe just a bit more sugar than stated in the recipe to make up for the sourness in the berries. Yeah.
Right now, the most of the strawberries are in the bottom of this. Nothing else. Oh, there's still a lot. And that's actually due to the entropy of this selection of berries. Like the big berries will get to the bottom, and the small ones will have more configuration if they lie on the top.
Mm.
So this just maximizes the entropy at most.
Yes, and something you can do with your red pudding is if you like to have some berries not be as mushy as others, then you can add them in later. You don't have to add all the berries at the same time. We will be doing it here. Get all of the berries really mushy and it's going to be very delicious. But if you like to have a little bit more texture in your red pudding, then you can take some berries, for example, the raspberries would be a nice fit for this, and add them in later. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Oh yeah, and actually we may add them later because I didn't include them in the mix just yet.
Yeah, we could do that.
The comment section is talking to us.
Yeah. Jan says, first of all, he's getting hungry. And also, who's gonna be the stuff? Who's gonna rate these dishes when they're finished?
Oh,
break?
the production team, I guess, they're going to take them, eat them with us when we have finished cooking. So yeah, they can give you a rating of the dishes.
When we are done making these dishes, then we will have a little feast with the production team. And just generally have some hygge and then talk about how well it went. I'm a little curious how well it goes with the first due to the pan because it got over big French. Because that pan heats the pork belly somewhat unevenly, unfortunately. So we'll see how well that will become. Hopefully it will not be a problem, but I'm not sure about that yet. I'll keep you updated. And if I don't, then I'm sure it does. I got all the strawberries in a moment. Let's see, and I think should we maybe just start to boil the red pudding because then you can also set for a little bit before.
Yes, and it's usually served a bit cooled down, so it would be nice to just start that now. Yeah, definitely. So let's do that. You have a pot for it over there, or do you need?
I think we have a small one over there. Otherwise, I'll click.
I think this one is too small, perhaps. But the one behind you might be a good choice. I think.
If I can get in contact with the cleaning team, then we might get a small pot available.
Part of the filling is starting to look really nice and creamy.
Can you maybe clean the mess? Maybe in the bathroom. So not make so much noise. I'll try.
I will some more bread, right?
Oh, that's very good.
While everything just takes care of itself. Because
I think traditional food, maybe even traditional food in general, has a common theme that was that back in the days, in the traditional days, when traditional food was the serving of the times. Then I think people had a lot more time to cook and had a lot more time to like really engage in the cooking and just be like leave the food to stir or to fry for a long time.
to simmer,
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Yeah, because right now in modern days, everything has to be so fast. How fast can you cook your dishes? How efficient can it be? Can you like use one pot in half an hour? Then it's like a great success. Can you make like one pot noodles? Then it's also like great success for cooking, which is fine. It's efficient, but it's also like kind of change because you will miss out on some of these on what you gain from spending this time.
Definitely. Yeah, but most of these dishes are from the time of the housewives. So, yeah, they would be at home and could prepare the food early in the afternoon and just put it on the stove top and, yeah, after it. But yeah, now we all have studies and work and spare time activities and all of this stuff that we have to do all of the time. So yeah,
Everything has to be so efficient.
yeah, it's nice to take some time off to really cook some nice food and spend the time that it actually takes. And the end result, I think, is usually so much better than if you just put something together really quick. Yeah.
So I think that, now I added the raspberry to the mix.
Oh no.
I think that
Maybe you could not add the last layer actually.
also
You
you
will just have
make
to-
like a mix. Oh, that's actually good.
Yeah. Just a few raspberries for texture.
I don't think I've tried that combo, but let's do it. So let's see about this. So now we have our red pudding mix, and we have a lovely freshly cleaned clean pot for the purpose. Oh, and there is some water beneath this. So just take it down. There we go. So, and then I've got some high entropy strawberries that we have got to clean. I will clean this now. Is technical team okay? Looked like there was a minor price.
Yeah, we were offline for a second.
Oh, oh no.
So, I think this looks promising. Am I right that we just have to like boil this with a little bit of water then we
And some sugar as well.
Oh,
Yes. It is a dessert, so we will add sugar.
there. I will just add the steam. And maybe we have to move this. I think the potatoes may actually approach the finish.
That's all good.
Let's have a look at that. And well, my usual way of testing whether the potatoes are done or not, it's not like taking the time poking a fork into it. Was this your wine?
That's mine. Your glass is empty. But I can give you a refill when I've added the water.
Sure.
Yeah, so we will add just a little bit of water to the berries, so they will actually boil, and so it will be this soft pudding. And then we'll add some sugar as well. I'll just...
We are in the slightly unfortunate situation that the potatoes, the small ones are done, but the big ones are not quite yet done. So I will just turn down for the heat, so we won't be using any more heat, and then we will leave it for like 5-10 minutes. Then hopefully the big potatoes will also be done, and then the small ones will be slightly open. Well, we have to. Oh, and let's look at the fried pork filling. That is definitely fried, but some of it is actually really heavily fried. Have you turned the heat a little down on the pork filling?
I turned it up a little bit. That's the last thing you asked me to do.
Yes, yes. I think that's right. Now
check a bit on them.
But I think actually this looks rather promising. Oh, for some of them, it's a little
Well,
uneven.
maybe you can, the ones that are finished, you can put them on a plate.
Yes, I think I will have to do this actually.
Yeah. Give some more space for the ones that have been a little bit more unevenly cooked.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's too bad. We should have had a bigger pan for this person.
Yeah.
But
Maybe a bigger stove.
I think it's good. And some more, maybe a little more like conference-friendly facilities in our studio. So.
Cleaning thing. Maybe get this spoon clean. Kind of find the cleaning brush kind of thing. So the tartlet filling is actually almost finished now. We will do the last ingredient. We'll be adding some cream, some heavy cream to it. So I'll be doing that now, and then we can just let it sit on the stove, keep it warm.
I have a very important point, by the way, which will make or break the dish of the pork belly, and that is to add some salt, because otherwise these slices will just be taste like very generic meat. It will not really be so appealing to eat. So we will need to add quite a bit of salt to the pork belly. And we will do that while it fries. There we go. And then I think I will be approaching the beef patties. They have to cook for like 10-15 minutes. So anyway, for the beef patties, we actually just need the ground beef. We have it here. We looked at it before, and it just has to be cooked together with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
I think that's
That's
my
right.
way.
I just filled mine over here.
No corona. Cheers. Cheers to you
Cheers.
guys out there as well.
How's the comment section doing? Anything new? Oh, pretty quiet at the moment. I don't know.
How many viewers do we have right now?
26.
26.
26.
So still going strong. Nice. Thank you all for watching this. Nice to actually do this for people.
I'm so glad that we beat the chess tournament.
Yes.
Regard to viewers.
Exactly. The chess tournament was in the middle of the night for us at least. Maybe it was for you guys as well. Maybe you need.
So if you're listening out there, where you're from? We have the from somewhere. But do leave a comment in the comment section on where you are.
And if you are cooking with us, let us know how it's going. We would love to know.
So right now I'm just kneading the beef, the ground beef, a little bit to to get the salt and the pepper like sort of evenly mixed in the meat.
I definitely made a mistake by wearing a white t-shirt for this cooking show, because I've now played it with some berry juice.
That's actually the exact reason I chose to wear a completely black shirt.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking maybe I should just state it, and that would be my contribution to the tie-dye competition.
Of course. It has a story.
Yeah,
you tie-dye using the food.
Oh, I have plans for tie-dyeing this shirt as well, so it will not be as important. Did you have a question from the comment section?
Well, no, just a statement.
Oh,
Statement.
a statement. Please let us know what it is.
It reads, if not for COVID, we'd be eating this delicious food. Parentheses, it looks delicious.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully it will taste delicious as well.
Actually, we are part of the catering team, so we also like making sure that that the team making the ICPS are like having something to eat. And we had like a great arrangement with one of the big Danish catering firms. So we had like arranged a huge menu before everything closed down. So unfortunately, another victim of the pandemic. Oh, come on.
We have a viewer from Austria.
Oh, Austria. Excellent. I think, is it true that in Austria that ground beef is called Placid? Because that's like, I've heard that it's like one of the words Austrian shares with Hungarian, I think it is. And that should be like a weird specific coincidence, because I think in German it's just called like gehackte Fleisch or something like that, which is like very standard German. I think I'm also. Oh, come.
We have two people from Finland in chat. One from Serbia and one from Poland.
Oh, excellent. Oh, so people are mainly Europe-based. Excellent. So you're also like having late night food tonight. Some of you, of course. Or at least you are just being entertained by it. Come.
There's a German here as well who might have appreciated your thing about.
Excellent, excellent.
And he says both.
Oh, now I just.
He or she.
Cleaning team, can you help me here?
Yep.
You have to pour wine into me because I have like raw meat on my fingers. And by the way, water. Thank you. And by the way, this goes out to the production team. How many of you would like a haggard? The beef patty. 1, 2. And here's a vegetarian, so no. And then maybe a haggard for you.
Yes, please.
That's 3. One for me. You are vegetarian, so no. I think that's okay. So 4. That would be good. Because we have to like make sure that we don't make too many or too little. Oh, a comment?
Yeah. Someone from Germany here says they're still trying to follow along.
Nice. What are they cooking? Maybe you can answer that in the chat. The person who wrote that comment. We would like to know what you're cooking at home. If you're cooking with us.
I think she's cooking the patty.
The patty? Nice.
Oh, vegetarian style.
Nice.
Oh.
Good choice. Good choice.
So I will just now I need the patties a little bit now. I'll just try to make them as flat as possible because they will contract quite a lot when exposed to heat. That's gonna be interesting. Simply doing that by pushing two cutting boards together. Should work. Bet curious. If I screw it up one way or another.
It's looking good.
Excellent. There we go.
Those are some very flat points.
Okay. So, and Andrea, you actually you had a technique for seasoning the patties, right?
Well, I guess if you could call it a technique.
It was something I didn't know, so I think maybe you could do that.
Yes, sure, I can do that. So salt and pepper is there.
Yes, yeah, we will need someone to have the handheld camera to show what's been done because we will
Yes.
keep the meeting.
So Hagenberg translates directly to chopping steak. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a clean knife and then we're going to chop it. But first we're going to give them a bit of salt and pepper on first one side, and don't worry, we will get to the other side as well. So salt and pepper. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to chop them. So you're just going to you're not cutting through them, but you're just making small dents in the surface of the steak. So first on one side, and then we do it perpendicular to it as well, along the entire steak or the patty, and that's sort of that. You do this to all of them, and then you flip them over and repeat on the other side. So I will be doing this to all of them. So this, is the special thing about Hagenberg that makes it different from a normal patty, I would say. Is that you actually chop it.
One thing, as far as I remember, Andre, we should add a little of thyme to the top of it.
Oh yes, definitely. Just
I will
put some a good handful. We have a decent amount of filling, so
I will just
take some and
rub.
rinse them, and then
Okay.
put it in, as they say.
Oh, I'm also getting quite hungry actually. I'm a little bit tired. It's like a little bit exhausting to make.
It's getting a little bit late, and we were up very late last night too.
To discuss chess.
To discuss chess while drinking a lot of drinks. It was very fun though. And apparently also for the people watching the chess tournament, it's a day.
I have a great idea to thyme.
Can you maybe put some salt and pepper on the patties?
Yes, definitely.
And we have some comments.
Yeah. Sarah says clever trick. Almost. I don't know what she's referring to.
I think it's me trying to rub thyme.
I don't know the comments over.
Okay.
There's someone from Mexico present as well. And interestingly, Jan from Austria, I think it was, has pointed out that Hagenberg is called Frikadelle in Germany.
Okay, that is actually interesting because in Denmark we have a dish called frikadeller, which is made from minced pork, and then you form like these small like meatballs, and then you fry them, and that's Danish frikadeller. which is also a very traditional Danish dish. Would you put some salt and pepper on here?
Yes, definitely. But I'm also like, it will have to happen sort of quickly because the stick split, the fried pork belly, is actually about to be finished. So we will. I will remove that from the heat once I'm done here, and then I will just add that to a plate and some aluminium foil over that to like keep the heat. There we go.
Thank you.
And as you can see, if we have the stove cam on, like half the weight of this meat has been like boiled away in pure grease. You see all this liquid in the bottom here. That's actually just pure fat that has been boiled off the meat. It's some greasy stuff. It's not like traditional Danish food is not like the most healthy food, I suppose.
No. You're trying to watch your cholesterol. Don't cook Danish food.
Oh, then. There we go. Maybe we should have said that in the beginning. If you're like trying to lose weight or have high cholesterol, then God bless your soul.
Yes, we have another comment.
Yeah. A viewer has sent us a gift on Discord
Okay.
of himself slapping some meat onto a plate.
Nice. I would love to watch that afterwards.
We will, and that is indeed one way to do it. Raw meat. There's like one piece of the pork belly which needs a little bit more. We just have like 2 minutes more, and then we'll be trying pig back. Oh, and the aluminium foil. Yeah.
I will just be going back to our red pudding because now it's boiling. And what's happening is, if we can switch to this camera over here, maybe I'll just move this pot to the back.
And then I will be starting on the first sauce for the main course, because that is a parsley sauce. So we will need some of all this this parsley that we have here. We have like quite a lot of parsley, too much in my opinion, but I really think we need a lot of parsley.
Yes, so when you make this parsley sauce, you make it the same way that we make the tartlet filling. You take some butter and some flour, you make a roux, and then instead of some bouillon or broth, you put in some milk, and then you get this sauce. And then all you do is you add parsley, and you have to add as much parsley as possible. It should be very green when you have added your parsley and stirred it. In my opinion, at least, I like my parsley sauce to be
Sure.
completely green.
I think we'll go away because it looks like sounds like you have very well thought through opinions about this.
I have made a lot of parsley sauces in my life. And,
I'm sure.
they were definitely better if there was a very decent amount of parsley in it. I will just make a quick comment about the red berry pudding. So now it's boiling, and if you could switch to this stove camera, nice. You can see there's a lot of foam forming on top, and it's usually dirt from the berries that wasn't washed off. So we will just be.
I'm sorry about that.
It happens also if you use frozen berries. So I'll just be sort of scraping that off the top of the pot. Because we don't really want that in our final pudding. Just a quick note on that.
Right now I am about to make a pasta sauce, so I will add some butter to the pot, and now I'll be adding some flour as exactly as Andrea did.
Yes, so equal parts of flour and butter and the whisk is over here and has been used for only butter and flour, so you can use that if you want. Should I check the potatoes next, maybe, to see if they are...
Yeah, I was actually thinking about just doing that on my way. Just if you film, I will check.
So...
And now the big ones. Excellent. So the water has to go from the potatoes.
It's a famous Danish saying. It means that you have to go through the toilet. If you say that, oh, I have to go pour the water from the potatoes in Danish, then it means that you're going to the toilet.
In some parts of the country, in the rural parts. I never heard that before. I went to the...
Well, okay. Where I grew up, it's a thing that you say.
and my grandparents are from the same part of the country, and I was like, the first time my grandpa...
Wow.
The first major error of the evening is me.
Can we get the cleaning team up here to save the day?
Oh yeah. We need them more than ever. I'll get some more flowers because that's what I need right now.
Maybe a clean bowl as well.
I have to go to the pot.
And your butter is melting at a bit too high. Should I add some flour to it?
No, I'm coming here to add it now.
Okay.
There we go. Sorry about that, Clinton. It could have been a more. We were talking about the Jutland.
Yes, we were. Talking about Jutland.
So yeah, slang from Jutland has always been a fascinating subject to me because I'm from the very main capital part of Denmark. So.
I'm from Jutland, which is the more rural part of Denmark.
Which is a hard state.
Yeah.
And now I think the last piece of frying pork belly is done, so I will just add that to the bread.
When this berry pudding is looking very nice so far, the berries are maybe not the strawberries as much, but all of the other berries are very, very soft and mushy, which is exactly what we're going for. We have a comment.
Yeah, we're getting some praise in chat. Someone said they like the cooking job.
Nice.
Oh,
Thank you.
same person also said they would love to have their personal thing as well.
It does help quite a lot, actually. I think this would have been like. Also, what you can see on the cameras is like one of my legs is like completely covered in flour.
Yeah.
So that's just like team kitchen tricks. That's not, it didn't happen at all. Cleaning team got it. So Andrea, for your parsley sauce, which I'm trying to recreate, would you add milk to this mixture?
I would add a little bit more butter, actually.
A little more butter.
Yes, it's a little bit dry. So I don't know if you can see in the stovetop camera, but it's very sort of clumpy and like porous. And we need it to be like more of a smooth mixture between the butter and the flour. So I would definitely add a bit more butter to this. That seems like a good amount. Rather too much butter than too much flour when you're making a roux. The butter just adds taste and helps the flour mix in with whatever liquid you're mixing it with. So rather a little bit more butter than a little bit more flour.
I think I was just about to say that I would.
But yes, now it's looking a lot better. So you can add in the milk. Maybe about just a bit more than half a liter for this butter and flour.
About half a liter.
Yes. And a little bit at a time. Stop there.
I will just don't mind. I will just stir it.
Well, yeah. I guess, but if you want to do it the proper traditional way, which usually yields the best result, you add in the milk a little bit at a time so that you really make sure that you don't get any clumps into your sauce.
Sure. I usually
So
just stir as a maniac.
Well, fair enough. I usually do it, add the milk in like three parts. So first a little bit stirred, then a little bit more stirred, and then the sauce is usually liquid enough that you can just add the rest of the milk and stir it, and it's not going to be a problem. But yeah, a little bit more milk would be nice.
A little bit more.
How much flour did you add? Did you measure it?
Yeah, I added about like 1.5 teaspoons.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yes, this is fine. We can always add more liquid later. It's difficult to add more flour because then you have to boil your sauce again for a few minutes. But you can always add more liquid. So if you're in doubt, then hold back the liquid and add more later. We have a comment?
Yeah, we have received a picture on Discord of someone having finished.
Oh,
wow! That is...
That's amazing.
That is so nice. I'm so thrilled.
Can you bring the picture to us just to have a look?
Yeah,
maybe
we'd love to watch it. I'm so thrilled that some of you are cooking with us.
Tastes much better than
Wow.
this.
No, but it looks really good. Oh, and you did the starter as well.
Is that the
No,
vegetarian?
that's so nice. Yes, I think it was.
Yes.
Wow, it looks really, really good.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit stronger and being
Where is the page? Then we can show it.
just sure. Yeah, it looks awesome.
It's on Discord. Wow,
Oh, yeah, have a look at the
really
Discord because Rebecca actually managed to complete the vegetarian starter and main course.
mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Looking very good.
we will be finishing the second main course right now, the beef patties, because they are right there, about to get fried. And we will add some butter, another decent amount of butter to the pan. And then be ready to fry the beef patties. Let's see. Maybe. And I'm thinking, Andrea, I think you should be the one chopping the parsley because
Yes.
I think we may disagree quite a bit on how much parsley is going to be added to the sauce.
Well, in my opinion, we should just add the rest of it, but we also need some for
Add-
decorating the dishes.
Yeah, let's definitely have some for decorating.
But
Oh, we should. You didn't put the one from the potato.
no, I did
We
not.
just talk about it.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that now.
Yes. When you do that, then I
I
will
will.
start chopping some parsley for the parsley sauce. We have a comment.
Yeah, someone has finished the whole menu.
Oh wow!
Oh, excellent.
Very impressive. Very impressive. So all of the dishes, or did you do? Is it both of the main courses and all of it, or is it a 3-course menu? But nicely done. I'm very thrilled that some of you are actually cooking with us tonight.
Yeah,
I think it's so great that.
And tell us, how was your how's your experience? How do you like it? Is there anything you prefer? How's the second place? How's the beef patties? That'd be nice.
So far, reactions are positive. People like the taste.
Nice.
Generally.
A knife?
Just to let you know, we can show Rebecca's food. She sent us a picture.
Oh, nice.
Oh, thanks. So we've been bringing some wine while we've been doing that, and that when the beef patties have been fried, we will actually be able to justify this. So do look forward to that. And you notice if we get a stove view, then I use the same pan for the caramelized onions as I'm going to use for the beef patties. I'll go to add those now. It both reduces some washing and cleaning, and it also adds a little bit of flavor to the beef patties. Now let's see if I'm able to add those without breaking them. Quite curious about that. There we go. Okay. We may once again be in a little bit tight spot regarding the space, but as they will heat up, it will contract quite a lot, so that won't be a problem in the end.
The person who you asked what dishes he made, says he really quit, maybe. Says the vegan patties, the triplets, and the shrimp.
Nice. So
Oh,
a three-course menu, the vegetarian three-course menu. Nice. Wow, I'm very impressed that you did all three of them. That is so nice to hear. How did it go? How do you like it? How is the taste to you? And what was your experience cooking this? Was it easy? Was it hard? Did you learn something? Perhaps.
Do you regret something?
Maybe. Okay. I think this is looking quite decent to me for the parsley sauce that we're making. Yeah, so this is quite a lot of parsley for a little more than half a liter of sauce. But it's going to be worth it, I promise you. Put as much parsley as you can into the sauce. It will be so much better than if you just put a little bit. So put as much parsley in it as possible. I think actually the red pudding has cooked for a while now, and it's looking very nice. So I think we should take it off the heat.
Yes.
And add the starch to it.
Yes, exactly. Should I just make a water-based sauce?
Yes. I use no, that was this one.
I think I'm just using a glass. And
Yeah, I
shake it
think
like
if
it's
you
something.
wipe a bit of it.
I will let you.
No, I'll let you do it because I'm not. Okay, I'll do it. I can do it.
I can do it.
I can do it. It's so well, it's just cheers. And cheers to you at home, sitting with us, eating.
Cheers to you.
Your
Cheers to
meals.
cheers to
the
technical team.
technical team doing a wonderful job as well. Let's see.
If we can get a stove, then this is the beef patties getting split, and I think they will actually soon be done. They will only have they fry for about 2 minutes on first. Now I'm throwing the pepper all the way. And now they'll have about 2 minutes on the flip side. And when they have finished cooking, then we'll make a sauce, and that's gonna be, I suppose some of you, maybe even a lot of you, know that way to make a sauce utilizing the flavors that the beef patties has added to the pan. Otherwise, stay tuned because that is going to be excellent. Now that's a rather easy amount of time.
Yes, but we might need quite decent amounts because this is cornstarch. The recipe is made with the recipe that we sent out is using potato flour, and it's a bit different. It's not the same. So adjust the amount depending on which starch you're using. You could potentially use flour as well. As we're doing with the tartlet filling and the parsley sauce. Yeah, but it's just easier to use potato flour or cornstarch if you're cooking it sort of.
They have the status on the parsley because I think we have a
Well, the parsley is ready to go into the sauce whenever the sauce is ready to receive it.
I'd say it
Well, it's right there.
excellent.
And maybe we can get the tilt-off camera on to show you what it's going to look like, because it's going to turn very green as soon as we put the parsley in, and it's going to be very nice. So let's just add it.
Here. Oh, there's another one. Here. Oh, this is not even. This is for the
That's for the sauce.
Here.
Here's but
So there we go. It actually looks like a very neat topic. So. Yeah.
oh yes, it actually does. Nice. Like, I would actually put more parsley in that if we had more parsley, but we also need something for garnishing the other dishes. So I think we'll leave it at that, and it looks pretty good actually.
And now I think the beef patties are done. So I'll just do add with the rest. Add that to a plate and add some aluminium foil.
Yes, and maybe it's also soon time to heat our tartlet, our small pies. So I think this needs to go a little bit more. Sorry. Okay, so using cornstarch, this just has to boil for 2 minutes. The red pudding. So we're just letting it boil a little bit, and then we're going to take it off the heat to let it cool. But I think it's looking pretty good so far. And then
Should we
let's
maybe?
heat the tartlets.
I was just about to say.
Yes.
Will you present it for them?
So in Denmark, you can buy them ready-made. So you just put them in the oven, which is really nice because then you don't have to do a lot of work. So this is what they look like. I'll take one out and show you if you like. So it's these little cup pastry balls. They are. It's just puff pastry, and they have this certain look, which is the real tartlet look. And if you're very fancy, you have a tartlet cupcake sheet that you make your puff pastry in. We're not that fancy. We just have an ordinary cupcake baking pan, and I will just be showing you how to make your own little cups.
You will be heating those, and you'll be showing how to make your own
Yes.
cups. But before you do that, I'll just show how to start the gravy, the bone sauce for the hybrid, which is if we can get a full cam. Looking at the residue from the hybrid, then we'll simply just deglaze it, as it's called in cooking terms, with some red wine. Simply extracting the residue from the pan, doing it like this, and it will generate some steam. So maybe can the cleaning team open a window in advance? If the cleaning team is listening. Oh, okay. Excellent. So this is what's going to happen. Enjoy. Alright, we're actually in. That's nothing. So what I will do with that that is I will add some pepper to the sauce. I think actually we can turn up the heat a little bit. And remember, it's important to taste the sauce before you add salt, because we did put a lot of salt on the meat, and it will have left some a lot of salt in the sauce. So, when the alcohol has boiled up the wine, then I'll add some cream, and then I'll also add some cornstarch, because that gives like a nice texture to the sauce. And we have it there.
Yes, I just added the last raspberries to the red berry pudding. Yeah, so all of the other berries have boiled to like this mush, but just to add a little bit of texture, we add the last raspberries now, so that they don't get too mushy. Yes, now I'll just let it cool over here. Yeah, and then it's time to make the carbonated cups that I showed you earlier. So,
While you're preparing those, I'll just add your vegetarian patties to the oven so that they will get heat.
maybe just, yeah, you can do that. Just put them in the bottom, I think.
I think I'll find the
Or I'll probably look for them. It's fine. What am I looking for? I'm looking for some paper towel cleaning. So you usually have some paper towels in here, or you can figure out how to.
I think
We can. Oh, thank you. I will just be buttering up the baking pan. Make sure that the puff pastry doesn't take too much. We don't need too much butter because there's a lot of butter in puff pastry as well. So it's just for extra security.
And right now, I think we can safely say that the alcohol has boiled off the red wine in the what's to become the brown sauce. So now I will add the rest of the cream. There's about 2 deciliters in the cream, and I will add that together with the starch, which I left here. There's not so much starch because I actually like when the sauce is like a sort of liquid, so I will keep it a little easy with the starch. And then we also have like a more like a little bit less liquid sauce, which is more like thick, more has more consistency. So there will be something for anybody.
Okay, so now I'm just preparing. These are the pre-made tartlet pies. Now they're ready to go into the oven, but they won't go into the oven just yet. We will wait. So we have to prepare the homemade tartlet pies, and for that we will use puff pastry. It has maybe gone a little bit soft because it's been lying here on the table for a long time now. But it's okay. Hopefully it'll still work.
I think there's a little bit of pasta in my mind.
So sweeping this out. This is just ordinary puff pastry. This is just in the cooling section of a supermarket. You can buy frozen puff pastry as well and use that. Just take it out of the freezer 10-15 minutes before you're going to use it. Yeah, so this is a pastry. We're going to take a knife. Then we're going to cut it into squares. Something like this. So I think now there are going to be as many as...
I think, Andrea, maybe you could pull this a little bit
Oh,
to the
yes,
side. So
definitely.
that would make
So,
the screen
all over here domestically. So I think you can see it now, and if we just clear a little bit more space over here, we can get the and over here as well. Okay, so I've just cut them into squares now, and I will take them, and if you're doing the very rustic look, then you just take these squares and put them into a shape on one of the small holes. And that's sort of it. If you want it to look a little bit more pretty, you can cut out the edges or just instead of cut squares, cut circles that fit into your baking pan. But I think we will be making the rustic look. And important thing is that you just take a fork and stab it a bit in the bottom so that any air bubbles that form the air can escape and won't make the bottom of the pie. So yeah, I will be doing that to all of them.
How long are the tartlets going to bake? Because I think we're also like running a little bit late on time.
So these are going to bake in the oven at 200 degrees for 7 to 8 minutes. And the pre-bought ones are supposed to be heated in the oven for 6 minutes at the same temperature. So we will put them in at the same time and have plenty of tartlet pies. So this.
Maybe we should. I have a suggestion. We could put the pre-made tartlets into the oven.
Yes.
And then in 5 minutes we will actually be able to serve the
Sounds like a good idea.
Because then and then we will be able to see the result of the homemade tartlet. I'm very curious about how this will turn out.
Yes, me too. This is going to be very interesting.
And the red pudding looks excellent.
Yes, and it has a very nice and thick consistency. When the tartlets are in the oven, we can show it to you.
And also, what is the sauce for the beef patties is about to be finished, so we are soon ready to. So I'll just add that to the little pot.
I just want to let you know we received another photo of someone's
Ooh, nice.
Oh, excellent.
Can we see it up here? Can someone bring us the photo? We would love to see it. Tech team. Okay. Oh, that is looking so nice. So that is definitely the tartlets and the dessert, and it looks like the beef, the Heidelberg with the onions. I think
Excellent.
it's looking really good.
Please tell us how you like it.
I am very impressed by all of you guys cooking at home. Like, sincerely, all of your pictures look so good, and now I'm getting really hungry right now.
5 minutes, then we are.
Yes. So now these are ready to go into the oven, so I will put them in. Move it a bit around here.
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
Maybe you can move those on because we will be.
Oh yes, that is these They're actually really quite fun.
I will make some space for you over here.
say that things are finished now.
Oh, they may be even done.
They feel hot to the touch.
Actually, I will move a little bit here. Maybe the cleaning team will help me. And then,
It's not to arrange the dishes, right?
yeah, we will do that. Because we will keep. Can you include some of these little ways?
We'll put a timer on it.
Oh, can you?
So I might forget.
Right. This has two.
So, let's see.
Okay. Yes, excellent. We will need a clean table for this to arrange the dish. So we will first be arranging. Oh yeah, excellent. We'll first be arranging the starter, the tartlet, which is usually the tartlet is, as you can see, a rather small dish. So usually it costs you to have at least two. So what we'll be having is two tartlets with the stewing of mushrooms and a little bit of parsley on top.
We will just be filling them, and we will be putting quite a good amount into these. When they're overflowing, you have put the right amount into them.
Yeah.
They have to be overflowing just a little bit.
So this is our start, the tartlets. The little pie, originally derived from French, tartlet, I think it means little pie in French.
Yes, it does.
And this dish evolved in Danish cuisine until what we have here. A little pie with a mushroom stew.
Yes, and fun fact, in the 1700s and 1800s, a lot of Danish dishes were sort of invented, and a lot of them were named something French, because that sounded a bit more fancy and expensive. So yeah, tartelets is a great example of that. It is a very Danish dish, but a lot of dishes from that time are named something French, just because it sounded more fancy, and then all the rich people could eat it. Yeah.
Thinking that they were so fancy. Let them extravagant. Okay, so for the next dish, we will have the fried pork belly, which will simply be usually a column slice of pork, which is still a little bit. Oh, it's nice. So the pork belly together with the potatoes. It also has to have a little parsley. And then, of course, the parsley sauce. Made by Andrea, who had an ingenious intuition for making traditional dishes.
Yeah, and I'm just preparing our salad behind here with cucumbers, tomatoes, and salad. And I just want to tell you that I bought these tomatoes because they're called the August tomato.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
I feel so.
So these tomatoes are especially for you.
Thank you. So, the finishing touch to this dish is the parsley sauce. It has to have a decent amount. There we go. This is the national dish of Denmark. It is steak flesh with chili sauce, fried pork belly with parsley sauce and potatoes. Okay, and now for the finishing touches. Okay, so and then we will be having the hybrid. The hybrid is typically the beef patty, also served with potatoes. It's just by hand because I'm occupied carrying the sauce here. This will not have any parsley because that is not suitable for this dish. Anyway, then we have the gravy. May not look especially flattering. And then, for the most important part, we will add the caramelized onions.
This is looking so good. I'm looking very much forward to eating this.
Maybe, Andrea, will you make a serving of the vegetarian version of this dish?
Yes, I will.
This is haggis with blue light, beef patty with caramelized onions, and brown gravy.
So, I'm just going to take the vegetarian patties out of the oven. Ooh, and the tartlet, the homemade tartlet pies are looking very, very good in here. So here are the patties, and I will just grab one here. And then we will just be eating that with the salad that I'm currently preparing and some potatoes.
Like running out of space to place this sauce on.
Oh, if you put it on the stovetop, aren't they all turned off?
Oh, that's right, but they
So here's the vegetarian patty. Yeah, you can add the sauce if you're. Oh, I don't mind. Some vegetarians do, but
yes, because this is actually made with residue from meat, so
yes.
That's of course another preference. But you're okay.
I'm okay with it. I am not. That is the sound of the homemade tartlet pies. In the oven. I would like to give them just a bit more there. I'd like to give them a little bit more golden color.
Do you remember the caramelized onions?
Yes, that is true. I was almost forgetting that. They are over here, so we will just be adding that as well to the patty. Here we go. So that is the vegetarian patty with potatoes and the sauce, if you're into that, and the caramelized onions.
Excellent. And for the dessert, we simply have, we will just arrange this by now. We won't be eating dessert just after because we have to go through the meals ourselves. But that will be just to add the red pudding with cream. Andrea will bring the cream, and the red pudding is here. Looks excellent.
It has really nice texture because of the cornstarch.
Mm-hmm. And actually, it looks like.
Thank you. Cover the whole plate.
So
Nice.
this is the red pudding. And of course, we add the cream, which
add
Andrea
cream.
will add with a nice logo.
Hopefully. So, as some of you may see, this is an attempt at the ICPS logo.
This is definitely
It
the
is slowing
ICPS
out a little bit, but it was definitely an attempt. But this is the dessert. I'm looking very much forward to eating this as well. But yeah, let's check these out. Okay, so the homemade tartlets are not quite finished yet.
And give them another minute. And then I would say production team. I think dinner is set.
Yes.
So yeah, go crazy. Have some food. We have the hagebøf with nudler. We have steak flesh. And we have, of course, the vegetarian option.
And salad is coming right now. We need to cut the cucumber. There is going to be a salad.
That's one. Sure. Just serve yourself. We have plates. Yes. And the rolls.
Yes, and there are some plates over at the table as well.
Take
Those.
One people are serving themselves, having some meat, which is much needed. I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in on our stream. Hope you enjoyed the dishes. And yeah, thank you very much for cooking with us. Or thank you very much for just looking at us.
Thank you, Chris. I have definitely been enjoying this. So thank you for cooking with us today. Yeah. It was very nice.
Just a heads up, we have made a table over here, and we will be turning the camera so you can all see us and just enjoy the food together with us.
Yeah. If you it sounded like a lot of people who were cooking, we're a bit faster than us. We tried to keep it in a slow pace. I think actually our pace may have been a little bit too slow. But yeah, I hope everybody was comfortable cooking at the same pace or faster. Right. But now, as we're finished, whoever is up for having dinner with us, feel free to join and leave a comment in the comments. Like and subscribe. For me. That's it over there. You can take this chair.
Fucking Jesus. Det var her ved hjerten hele tiden.
What was it again?
Det er ikke det.
Kan vi tage nogle hjem? Så er det en. Ja. Thank you. Nogle af dem er ikke blevet gode. Der er nogle af dem, der er blevet gode.
Usually, actually, tablets are served on like a separate plate because what happens when you eat a tablet, as Andrea has illustrated, it like spreads all over to the plate.
Yes. So you can't really help it. It just happens.
Let us see if they can hear us here. I'm not sure.
You're bringing that in.
Wait to hit it at some point.
Please don't.
The first thing Arnold said when I came back, I said I smelled like leeks.
So strongly, just simply.
I didn't It hit you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Hurt too much.
I mean, you haven't seen it, but the meme channel has gone kind of amok.
It's gone very deep.
I'm very much forward to seeing all of the memes.
What was that? I mean, nothing happened. It was just the intro and then something. I mean, the countdown stopped and then the intro began. Yeah. Just like
Something smelled like it.
just like yeah.
This tastes amazing. Holy shit.
Thank you. Then it's been worth it. Review for the past 2 months.
Are we even supposed to hear it?
Yeah, they are. But I think we will say goodbye for now. And I'll wish you all, we will wish you all a very pleasant evening.
We'll be back in a bit.
So see you next morning. And have a great
Hey,
Among Us coming up.
yeah, Among Us coming up in a minute.
No more. We're not even going to sleep.
no, we will likely be awake, yes.
Yes, definitely.
We will be among us.
Exactly. Well, bye guys.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining.